So, welcome to Isla Mujeres. Literally just got off the ferry. Just landed in Cancun and there are, I don't know what they are, not Mormons, but Amish people? Amish? It's kind of funny. As you can tell, there are golf carts everywhere, and I believe you can rent your own. And while we were exiting the ferry, we actually had to go through this thing that was washing us or like sanitizing, whatever, I don't know, like us. I'll blend it in below. It was quite interesting. I actually have not seen that yet in Mexico. I've been in Mexico for like 10 plus days. Haven't seen that one. I've seen people actually sanitizing, spraying you down, but I haven't seen that. Oh, there's a golf cart right there. So yeah, one of the many golf carts, more golf carts. And yeah, it's quite interesting. So yeah, so you actually have to put your mask on, and which I have in my hand, and then go through that sanitizing fluid thing. Very strange, very bizarre, but you know, whatever helps in psychological effect of dimming down, whatever. I guess that's fine. So if people are freaked out about traveling right now, I don't think you really need to. I think Mexico is handling it very, very well. And so we're just gonna walk up to where I'm staying for the next few nights. And it seems quite busy, so it seems busier than Cozumel. And you have way more stores that are more like, you know, the Mexico that I kind of remember from other parts too. Yeah, it seems quite nice. And I'll definitely give you a tour later on, so I'll just have to see where I'm staying. Alright. So I tried recording this last night when I was at Punta Norte, but as you can tell, I'll blend it in. It was a little bit too windy to actually understand anything. So I'm just going to summarize the thoughts that I had yesterday when I came here. I'm currently on my last island, so Isla Mujeres, and I already noticed that in Cozumel too. I already noticed that in parts of Tulum, maybe Cancun, maybe Playa del Carmen, but it's like in this entire area in Mexico. And you know what makes me really sad is how this entire situation has really affected the common people, like, you know, people who did not deserve this. You know, this entire BS, this entire shutting down of their livelihoods, shutting down of everything they've ever really lived for. And it makes me sad because, you know, other countries like Europe, like America, like Australia, you know, all of those more modern westernized countries, they do have a safety blanket. They do have that safety net of unemployment and something, some sort of governmental support. But here you don't have any of that. Okay, so it's affecting people that you can't put food on your table when you don't have anyone coming. And you can really, really tell, like after 6-7 months of this, how people have to feed their families and how they just have to get by. And what makes me so sad is that, sure, people can argue about safety rules and yada yada, and whether or not, you know, this thing exists, or if people are dying, or, you know, like the entire discussions that you have, but it has nothing really to do with that when you're sitting in a country like here and you're actually seeing how this has hurt people who did not deserve that. So just a few thoughts that I had. If you want to, you know, complain about it's not safe to travel right now, you can do that too. But I have to say, this is the safest I've ever felt when traveling. Sure, I hate having to wear this thing in the airports or on the ferry or whatever. I absolutely do hate that. And I don't believe in that. And you guys know that. If you've been following my channel, you know my stance on that. But, you know, when we entered this island, like I already showed you, they were actually spraying ozone on it, like O3 on us. So it can be poisonous if it's like in a huge amount, but just for like 1 second walking through it, it's actually okay. I would not want that on a regular basis, but if this is the only way Mexico or countries like Mexico can reopen to finally have their tourists back, whatever, you know, just give it that to them. They're pretty much doing everything they can to make people like you feel safe, and you have to give them credit for that. And I do think they deserve for people to come back and to feel, you know, safe, or being in that false safety feeling psychologically, like it's an effect, you know, like, okay, sure, yeah, let's just put hand sanitizer on our hands and we'll be safe, which we all know that's not really true. But those are just my few thoughts. And, you know, people here don't have a safety net like you do in the country that you are in, most likely that you're watching this from, because you actually have access to a computer, you have access to internet, you have access to all these things. People here don't have that safety net, and it makes me sad that those kind of people are the ones that are affected. You know, it's not the rich person, it's not the Mexican government that's really affected by this, it's the Mexicans, like the person who needs to put food on their table and to feed their family. It's just the realization that you should probably consider when, you know, you judge people who are trying to ramp up the tourism again, or judge people for traveling. And I have to say, you know, this has been an interesting time. Like the past 10 to 12 days that I've been here has been one of the best times of the entire past 7 months, if not the entire past 1.5 years that I have been traveling, including my travels through Australia. I'm actually enjoying my time here immensely. But it's also been one of the most heartbreaking times in terms of seeing how people are living here, seeing how they have to get by and they can't. You know, they can't get by without a cruise ship coming. They can't get by with just 1 or 2 tourists in a town that usually holds like thousands of tourists. It's been heartbreaking. It's been really an eye-opener to see, wow, this is how it's affecting the common people. It's not affecting you by you staying home with your arses and, you know, just being in a false sense of safety. It's affecting people like this right here, right now. And I have never felt as liberated and as free in the past 7 months as I have felt here, despite, you know, the BS restrictions sometimes, despite having to put this on my hand, despite having to walk through that thing to even get onto this island. I've literally never felt as free, as non-judged by doing whatever I want to do, by not wearing this in public, as I have here in this entire time. Things just kind of empty out on these islands. I've already noticed that on Cozumel too. We're currently like half an hour before nightfall, so I'm not sure, but it can definitely be that people just come for the day, visit for the day, because it was definitely busier when I got off the ferry. However, you know, there are still people here staying overnight, like a night or two, similar to me. Yeah, I mean, it's getting a bit emptier. Not sure how it is normally. I think normally people would stay for longer, possibly, like under different circumstances. But yeah, it's just like observations you're making when you're just walking around. It's a really, really colorful island though. So they have a lot of street murals. I think it's different from Cozumel in the sense that it's just a bit more compressed. Definitely way smaller, obviously, because, you know, there aren't as many cars. Like, it's more the golf cart thingy, like going around with golf carts. But I think it's really colorful and really cute. It reminds me a little bit of San Miguel de Allende. Okay, so this is a gorgeous view onto the beach on my way to the reef. It's actually quite nice with the sand and everything, and the water looks amazing, by the way. I actually can't wait to dip into it. I guess this is a public beach or something, because you see people swimming. Unfortunately, on my one full day here, we had quite a bit of rain yesterday, and there are a bunch of puddles, meaning I'm probably not gonna do much today, just trying to go to the beach or something, or just look for an infinity pool, I don't know. But yeah, so unfortunately I'm not able to give you much more of an impression. So this morning I actually had breakfast with a German guy who I just randomly met in this cafe on Isla Mujeres. And you know, it's always nice just to speak your own language and just meet Germans when you're traveling, especially if it's so far away, like here. So for Europeans, the current situation, if they want to go back to the US and they don't have like a US passport or whatever, is they need to quarantine in a few of the countries. Well, not quarantine, but be here for like 14 days. So it's either Mexico, Egypt, Turkey, or a few other countries. So most people obviously opt for Mexico because it's right next to the US and all they have to do is book a flight from Germany to Mexico and then Mexico to the US. So obviously it's better than booking it through Turkey or Egypt. Also because Mexico doesn't have the nasal swab requirement, which I do find so far almost every European I've met does not want to do that. I'm not sure about the Americans or Canadians, but that's just my impression. And he's been here for 10 days already. He actually stayed on Isla Mujeres. So he gave me a little bit of insight. He was like, yeah, there actually weren't that many tourists here. You know, just my impression of, yeah, just not being tourists right now. But it seems to be picking up a little bit now. So after the rainy season, which makes me really happy. And yeah, supposedly it's been like a very relaxed situation here, which is good for him. You know, spending 10 days here does seem like a dream. For me personally, it's been quite rainy on my stay here, but looking at other vlogs online, just gotta get out of the wind here, it does seem to be like a gorgeous island for snorkeling and everything. I decided to opt out of the snorkeling tour because I've already done one in Cozumel and I just really want to relax at a pool or at the beach today, so we'll see if that's possible. Alright, so I'm probably going to try to zoom it in, but there's something called the Mia Reef all the way over there, so I'm going to try to make my way over there now. The original plan of going to the reef was changed just because it wasn't open to the public on that day. They were having a special party. However, I just enjoyed the beach around Mia Reef, and despite the rain, which did come down a few times during the entire afternoon I was there, it turned out to be a beautiful experience. They had a main beach which was looking right onto the reef, and it was crystal clear. You know, I was able to look way down to the ground. Then they had another one which kind of extended to the side, and both of them actually were great photo options and photo opportunities. I would recommend this area to anyone who is visiting. I believe right now during the sunny weather, during the summer season, or during the dry season, it would be a little bit more crowded than it was when I was there, but most likely would also look a little bit more bluer and more beautiful, just because with the rain and everything, the water did look a little bit different than I've seen in pictures when it looked during the dry season. This part of Isla Mujeres was quite gorgeous, and I had a lot of fun. I was just hanging out for a few hours in the afternoon. And there were other people as well, but not too many, especially during this time of year. So today we are actually leaving Isla Mujeres. I have to say I had a good time despite the weather. It wasn't ideal for the 2 days I was here. It was raining quite a bit, but I do hope when you come here during a different time of year, you should have more sunshine. Today is actually, you know, sunshine again. You can hear a lot of noise in the background, like you have the entire golf cart scenario all over here, which actually I didn't get to rent one out, which is fine. So I didn't get to see the south of the island like others have. But I still think I had a great time. I saw a great beach. I saw a bunch of other great stuff. It was fun. It was social. You know, I met a lot of people, a lot of Americans, a lot of Canadians, a lot of Europeans actually. So bunch of Europeans are literally just coming here before they want to enter the US, because you have to be in a different country, like in one of these countries, for 14 days. I guess, I don't know, you still have to quarantine in parts of the US wherever you go to, depends on the state. But yeah, that was surprising. I actually didn't know that. So I met like Irish people, I met German people, I met a Finnish guy, you know, so you meet like a lot of different people, and I had fun. I hope you enjoyed this vlog as well. Adios!